Hey people, I looked at this second Pentacle of the Moon yesterday, and I wanted to look at some more of these. I thought they would really help. And so most of them is all round except this first Pentacle of the Moon. And I'm going to touch it just a little bit. What you're looking at is a lock cylinder. This is where your key goes in. And so high security keying, you have the longest pin here. So if somebody's trying to pick it, this pin comes down long and they have to reach up to pick it. Makes it more difficult to pick. But that's what you're looking at, is a lock cylinder. And so it's even, this is a 10 cut. This is the deepest cut. And then a 5, 6, 5. The deep cut is a 10. It has a longer pin, a 10 pin. And then a 5, and a 6, and a 5, a 4-pin lock. And even the older locks that use cylinders, that would still be a cross cut of it. And that's what it says: opens all doors and locks, no matter in what way they are fastened. And so I haven't read up on this yet. I was wanting to hit these round ones first. But this second one I come to, it was a good wake up too. It's written a little bit different in the Bible. It's missing the punctuation, but it says it protects against all dangers of travel, all attacks by night, and every danger from water. And we can see it a little more clear in this one. And you see it's the Rex with a tack here. But when I find it in the Bible, that tack is missing, and it reads better if that tack was there. And I look to see, if you come here to the verse in this Hebrew, it'll show you down lower. It'll show you several different Bibles, and none of them were written with that tack in it. But if we read it with the tack, and this is RXE, the X is TZ, the ritzy, the rich, richie, and this would be you, or if the tack was here, it would be have you. The ritzy, have you, of Excel, of L, of EXILNE, of Exceline, the nice, the excellence. You Lazaret, LAZRTI, Lazaret house, HUSE, you Lazaret house. Be pleased, Yahweh, to deliver me, Yahweh, to help me make haste. And they say that this is, protects all dangers of travel, all attacks by night, and every danger from water. But this is a Lazaret, the Lazaret house, and it's at the aft of the boat. A lot of times the steering gear will be in there, and there'll be extra storage space to protect things from water, from danger, from arrows flying at the boat. You might put your ritzy riches or your ritzy passengers in a Lazaret at night for protection, to protect against all dangers of travel, attacks, or water. Danger of water would be on a boat, or the rains or the seas, or falling off the side into the water. Put your ritzy passengers in the Lazaret. Protect your ritzy of excelling, of your fine stuff, your Lazaret house. So this is a big clue here. They say it's Jehovah, or they say it's the Lord, or Yahweh, but this is you. You are the key, and they don't want you to know that you are the key. They want you to think that you have to search for a key somewhere else. You are the key. So this next one is written in Latin, and it's not It's not found in the Bible. But these words up here, they say are Aya, Asher, Aya. This is what they say is, I am that I am. And the two angels, Yahel and Supiel. But I'm going to skip this one for now because I don't know where to find it in the Bible. It may have been a part that was taken out. So this next one says protects against all the phantoms of the night which may cause restless sleep or nightmares, and aids in obtaining answers to questions or problems through dreams. So yeah, this is the one that visits me a lot, the fifth pentacle, and this is a better view of it. And so this is the hand you make, and here it is to make you, and then Mael from the backbone. And so this is the first word, is Mael. This is the God of creation, and it doesn't come up. This is what they say, Lord God, and this doesn't come up till the second chapter when it's connecting your backbone, you Mael. And this here, it looks like the same thing we would use in welding diagrams. If a welder was to look at this, the fitter would look at it and he would see that this needs to be beveled on both sides, this side and other side, and this side's going to be a blunt butt fit. This side's going to be beveled both sides. What a welder would see there, and it means to fit together. It looks like a welding diagrams. The fitter sees this and he knows that to bevel this side 60 degrees, a quarter inch deep, and bevel the other side 3/8, 60 degrees. This says bevel this side only 3/8 inch deep, 60 degrees. And the welder's plans would be a little different. It would tell how deep the fillet's going to be. But that's really what this looks like to me. And then another look at it, it looks like it fits in the keyhole. This is the flat end, and this is the round end. If we put that in the keyhole, and this section would be Yod, He, Vav, He. And so this would be the Yod, He, Vav. Vav means to connect. And this is really telling me, it's just talking about a connection. And then the angel's name, I always read them backwards and forwards. It's the Laid, L-A-I-D, the Laid Key, K-A-Y. The Laid Key give dial, D-I-A-L. Laid Key give dial. And that's what made me think, to go back and look at the keyhole. The Laid Key give dial. And so, your old keyholes, they didn't have springs and pins. They had round, and there would be cracks like on a safe dial. There'd be cracks to dial in. And then this is L-A-R-Z-A-Z-R-A-L. The Lars is rule. R-A-L is rule. The first powers bind. Whoever has the first powers to bind is the ruler, as in the last of Israel. But this is Lars, and Lars is an ancient word meaning he who wears the crown of laurel, L-A-R, laurel. And he who wears the crown of laurel is the winner. Whoever wins the race puts on the crown of laurel. And you see it on all the kings. They all had the crown of laurel. They won the race. Trump wears the crown of laurel. The Lars is rule. So the Laid Key give dial. Lars is rule. And we can find this one over here in Psalms 50, 65, 68, Psalm 68, 1. To the chief musician of David, a psalm of songs. And then it starts here. So this starts with Le Mans. Le Mans is a cat. And it's the same word that musicians use today. If somebody came and sat in their session and he was badass, that cat beating them drums. You know, that cat blowing that horn. You don't know his name, but it was that cat with the horn. And so Le Mans he was a hell of a musician. Leaded. Leaded means with pencil in hand, ready to write. Leaded. And from somewhere. From cut, MZ, from cut from where, MWR. From cut from where, from somewhere. The cat leaded from somewhere, sir. Sir is how you start a letter. Dear sir. And then you go on with your complaints after that. So sir is to fires, to consume works first. S, consume, yod, work, R, first. This is where you begin. Consume work first. That's why a letter starts with Dear Sir. That's where that comes from. The cat leaded from somewhere, sir. And so they say this is let arise, but this is only let arise if it has an E at the end. This is yod, to make, Q-U-M. And so it doesn't read as an M unless there's an E at the end. It would be fume, F-U-M-E, fume, make a rise. But it doesn't. This final M is read as an S when it's on the end. It's either to make few from or to make fuse. And so that make fuse is that word that we found on the third day. This is one of the first lines on the third day of creation. To make few two, to make three two, to make fuse, and you'll see that fuse that comes in a little later in that chapter. Fuse, make fuse, to make connect, to weld. You know, you weld, and we make fuse. We take two and we burn another piece of steel in there and fuse them together. Make fuse, Mael, from the backbone. Make fuse from the backbone, to make puts to. And so scatters is PX. This is PUX. And it's just the opposite of scatters. To make puts. PUX is TS, puts. PUTS, too. To make puts connected. And so this is the opposite of scattered. So this starts with a and it reads backwards. So this is W-Y, ancient English for who or how, and then the B doesn't have a dot in it. You know, it would be the bayou. I'm sure a lot of people read it as bayou or stagnant waters, but it's how in you, Y-U-A. And so there's several words for you, but there's several different meanings for you. But yeah, it is the bayou, the stagnant waters in you. How in you when used to make cycle, to connect in, Vav, connect, in, and then connect the secrets to, the use of the stagnant bayou that's in you, to make in use you, to make in use to. From who hate him, is they get that from snay, this S-N-A-Y in the middle, snay. That's snay, but it's not. That's where the word snake come from. And only the people in fear or hate the snake. But this is the Mason of, the house of, the Mason, the house of. And so they get the hates from, everybody hates the Masons. But that's what it is. The Mason means the house. The Mason. You are the house. The Mason of mapping. M-P-N-I. Like P-N-I is ping. Is a place. You know, when you're finding your place on the map, you shoot pings to stars. And so mapping is from the ping. Mapping. The mapping to. From the house of mapping to. And the house is you. And so it's talking about the house of mapping you. Mapping you with the stars and with the planets. You're mapping. So altogether, you know, this is Le Mans leaded from Zoomer, sure, start. Make fuse mile, make puts to. Make fuse from the backbone to make puts to. How in you to in use to. The mansion of mapping. The mansions of mapping. And so this is going to be a good one to help me figure out the second chapter. But that's what it goes on to talk about in the rest of this is mapping the human with their chakras. Mapping the human with their chakras. And so it's going to take a little work. You know, they have different schools, have different thoughts on which planets are which. You know, and they say in the Mars is the root, and Jupiter is your chi, and Mercury is your sacral, your sacred. And then and others have other thoughts. But I believe that these ancient Indian words are going to help in figure out exactly which is which. And so I put this in a folder to get that second seal that I did yesterday. I'll put this in the same folder, and so you can watch that to see where I did the second seal. And I think I'll go on and read some more of these because there's a lot of knowledge coming out of it. All right, good day.